Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tori, and this is episode 52 of the Motley Crew Chats, which is super exciting. And I have brought somebody over from the platform of Instagram to the wide world of YouTube.
Bookstagram.
Bookstagram, yep. And that is my friend Andrew from the Instagram account. I can't say channel anymore. BrotherGrimdark. So Andrew, thanks for jumping on with me today.
Of course, it's really great to be the first. You be the first YouTube that I go to.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because we've been Instagram friends for a while.
I think I bought one of your books and posted about it, and then you're like, "Hey, I want to be friends with that
guy." yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to get into, so I'm still pretty newbie when it comes to Instagram. So I'm just kind of watching all of you guys and taking notes at this point.
There's not much to it.
Yeah.
Well, pretty pictures.
I mean, I enjoy the shelfies and the flat lays, and I'm learning all sorts of things. And the stacks, you do the stacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get more confident in just turning on my camera and doing like brief little reel opinions and book reviews and stuff. I'm in my spare time. But before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that if you are on Instagram, you can go down in the description box of this video and click on the link to Andrew's Instagram account so you can follow him. And he has a lot of awesome content and really beautiful shelves. So that's always fun for the home feed. I enjoy scrolling through Instagram and it's just like shelves everywhere and beautiful books. And it's a great place to be. So that, I guess, would be my first question is like, what got you started in posting about books on Instagram?
So it's actually funny. It was actually a bet.
Okay.
So I'm kind of new to like reading sci-fi fantasy. In 2024, basically, I had some friends who were like reading a bunch of stuff like Red Rising and the Cosmere and all that, and they were like talking about all the time, like, would you guys like shut up? Like, who cares? And they're like, no, you have to like read this stuff. So I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And I started getting into the reading aspect of it, and I was like, I got into Bookstagram because I just like wanted to see like people post about books and also like Warhammer. Like I was curating my social media to only show me things that like interest me in my hobbies because I did not want to like see anything else.
Yeah.
Basically, because everything else sucks. Yep. And I got onto Bookstagram. I was like, wow, people are like have these like amazing books, and I keep seeing people get free books. I want free books. So then my buddy was like, I bet you can't get big enough and get people to send you free books. And I was like, bet, absolutely bet. And then that's how it started. But like, you know, I came for the bet, stayed for the community.
Well, and also like you won the heck out of that bet because you're now a broken binding rep, which is pretty cool. Twice. Super cool. Has the friend like eaten his humble pie a little bit about that now?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I send him every time I get something. I'm like, hey,
look what I got.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Let's see. I wanted to say hi to chat really quick. Hi, Derry. I have missed you guys too. It has been since March since I did a live stream, you guys. That's ridiculous. Wow. I'm so sorry. I've neglected my audience. Hi, Tabitha. How's it going? Welcome. Hi, Kale. Derry, this is your lucky day. Andrew's awesome. We actually got to meet he's one of the few book people that I've gotten to meet in person at Dragonsteel convention in December. And that was super fun. And it's always, I don't know if you had this experience at Dragonsteel, but it is so weird to like see people in the flesh when all you know of them is their shelves and like this much of their face usually. Yeah. And you're just like, oh my gosh, you're like a whole real person. That's crazy.
It is crazy, but also like there's been no one I met from the book community that isn't exactly how they are online, which is is really nice actually.
100%. Yeah.
Like everyone's so sweet and just chill. It's great. Yeah.
I think like you kind of touched on that with Instagram before, where you're curating your space because everything else, it's a sanctuary, I think, for a lot of us to just come and talk about something we all love.
Yeah.
And so we have that immediate common ground where, like, I mean, we both love books. We're friends, obviously, So I'm trying to remember, you went to some of the panels and stuff at Dragonsteel. Did you have like a favorite part of the conference?
I think the one with Ryan Cahill and Christopher Paolini was really fun.
I heard good things about that one.
Yeah, that was just kind of more of them arguing about dragons.
I was gonna say, was every other word dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of them were good. I think the best part about Dragonsteel was just meeting people.
Yeah.
I got to hang out with a lot of authors like outside of the panels, and I met a lot of really cool creators, some big creators. Like I met Bookborn, I met Smitty. Had a long conversation with Smitty about some stuff. Yeah, it was great.
I actually don't think I saw him I don't think I knew he was there.
Oh, he's probably pretty busy.
I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. I took a picture with Bookborn because a lot of people within our like shared book communities don't know how tall I am and how short she is. And so we had a picture that we took together to prove to everyone on the internet that I am like almost a foot taller than Bookborn.
She is so sweet. Like
she's so great.
I've actually met her like in the hotel, and I was just kind of like hanging out. I was with Andy Peliquin, and I was just like hanging out, like, ooh, look at all these authors and book creators. And she's like, hey, you want to come sit with us? I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah, she's super nice.
Yeah.
She is great. That was fun. I hadn't met her in person before too. We've chatted a lot and quite a bit over the last few years, but I hadn't met her in person. And because that was my first like big book event, really, that was more that was kind of outside of my local sphere. Because had you gone to conventions prior to that? Was your first one too, right? Yeah. You flew in? Yeah, the drive was a little dicey at the end when we were going through Wyoming. That
sounds like a lot, to be honest.
There was like a semi-graveyard that we went through at one point, and I was just like, oh, I just want to live. Hey, Leah, how's it going? Tabitha says, hi, Andrew.
Hi, Tabs.
It's always really fun when I have people on the channel to see like people that come over from their group that say hi. 52 is wild. Innocence proves nothing. Is this a Warhammer reference?
Hey, you got it right away.
Yeah. Hey, here's the thing. So I am a complete ignorant when it comes to Warhammer for the most part. I have several friends who are super into Warhammer, and I have tried my hardest to like, there's just so much.
That's the beauty of it.
So much.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's the beauty of it, though. Like, you're never going to be starved for content, basically.
So, okay, as a Warhammer aficionado, because you are like the real deal. Like, you have so many Warhammer books.
It's crazy. It's insane.
It's crazy because you just posted a shelf. Yeah, you just posted a picture of it on your Instagram, and I was like, I didn't even know that there were that many books in Warhammer. And as somebody who's completely new to it, I've had several people say, okay, you should read some of the books. You should, whatever. Where do you even start? Like, as somebody with zero experience, where do you even start with Warhammer?
First, I want to say I love this question. I love when I get this question. It's my favorite thing to tell people what to read.
Just get to nerd out.
Yeah. Honestly, it depends on the person. Usually I say, like, there's a series called Eisenhorn, and it's kind of like yeah, it's kind of like, it's almost like an urban fantasy because you're like following an inquisitor in the Imperium, which is like the empire of the 40K universe, and you just kind of like follow him as he like investigates stuff and like threats the rest of the empire. But for you specifically, I might actually, because I know you like military fantasy.
I do.
I would try. It's called Gaunt's Ghosts. It's by the same author as Dan Abnett, same author as Eisenhorn. And it's also a great introduction into Warhammer. It's just following like basically a band of brothers as they fight against insurmountable odds.
That 100% checks a lot of boxes for me. So, yeah, I'd heard of that one before. And that's the thing that I love is when I've asked like multiple people and I get the same recommendation, that's always a good sign for me that I'm like, okay, this is one that I should definitely check out.
Yeah.
Eisenhorn, what was the one I had? So my friend, fellow author Andrew Meredith is also a Warhammer guy. And I'm trying to look at my wish list here because he had recommended one for me. And I still have it on my wish list. Let's see if I can get to it here. Bear with me. I think it's all the way down at the bottom because I've had it on there for so long. It's by Dan Abnett is the author, I think. Oh, I don't have it on here. Where did I move it? Okay, well, it was one of the ones by Dan Abnett.
Dan Abnett, yeah.
And there were 3 guys on the cover that looked a little bit like Third Reich-esque. I'm trying to remember what that was called. I'll have to ask him again. He gave me I feel really bad I haven't read it yet. But because I mean I like live under a complete rock with this stuff. So was it originally a TTRPG?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a TTRPG called Rogue Trader.
Okay.
But that's like completely like almost 90% detached from what it is now.
Sure. Okay.
When it became a tabletop game.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So is it something where the books have kind of taken on a little bit of a life of their own where like you don't necessarily have to be into the game to read the books or vice versa?
Absolutely. You never have to touch the game to enjoy the books. In fact, I don't play that much either. I don't have enough time to play.
Sure.
But I love being in the Warhammer setting. It's a comfort read for me.
Sure.
As weird as that sounds, it shouldn't be weird because my name is BrotherGrimdark. Like,
sure.
Duh. But
I get that.
yeah, it's you just get thrown into that world, and there's so many. The setting is so broad, and that's what I love about it. It's so broad that you can tell literally any story you want in it, and that's the beauty of it.
Cool.
There's like 700 plus books, so there's something for everybody.
So you got a ways to go on that collection.
I am not going to get all 700. But yeah, I do somehow keep getting them. It's weird how that happens.
I don't understand it. I haven't bought a book in, I don't even know how to do that. Yeah. So like, are they mostly standalones? Are there some series within that?
I would say they're mostly series.
Mostly series. Okay.
There are a few standalones. Standalones tend to be really good, I've found.
Okay. Good to know.
So yeah.
I'm determined in the next year to read a Warhammer book because I have so many friends that are big fans of it that I'm like, okay, there's got to be something here that I need to just get on the bandwagon because so many people seem to absolutely, and like you said, I think one of the draws for people is just the variety within the same world. So there's that comfort level of familiarity, but there's so many different varieties of stories you can tell, that's cool. Like once you create a world like that, why not stay in the sandbox and keep playing?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I do tend to be that person. I am one of the weird book authors, creators. I would say less weird as a creator, more weird as an author, that I'm actually an extrovert, which is not normal for a lot of fantasy
I've noticed
authors. That. A lot of introverts. I love that because I collect introverts as friends because I love to like pull them out of their cave and make them do fun things. So Black Hobbit's here. Hello, hello.
Hey, Black Hobbit.
Paul the Bookworm. Hey, you know what? Get some good rest, and we'll still be here on a replay. All right. Question based on Derry's comment. What are some of the most beautiful books? And I know this is going to be tough because you have a whole bunch of special editions, but what are some of your absolute favorites that you've gotten?
My go-to usually is Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn by Broken Binding. I love those books so much. Oh my God. They're really why I'm a Broken Binding fanatic. I was like, I need those in my life.
Yeah.
But also Blood Over Brighthaven by them as well.
Also gorgeous.
Is so beautiful. The artwork is so crazy. But yeah, like I have so many. I can't. I mean,
yeah. I think I can. I have the first Wraith marked Sword of Kaigen.
Oh yeah,
the dark one. I have both of them now because I just got the second one. But that first one is like one of my favorite overall. Like the naked hardcover is beautiful. The dust jacket art is beautiful. The pages on the inside look like they've got like a feathering around the outside, so it looks like old paper. It's so cool. And I love the Broken Binding Shogun.
Oh, yeah.
Love that set a lot. I love that kind of like painterly sort of brush strokes. It's minimalistic in color, but the details all in the character. And yeah, they've done some really beautiful editions. I'm still waiting because I had a subscription until early this year or late last year, because I want to like get very specific about which special editions I get, and I'm not a huge collector, so I wanted to kind of just wait and maybe get secondhand the few series that I really, really want to have special editions of.
Yeah.
But I'm really hoping that they do like Lois McMaster Bujold, or I'd love to see them do C.S. Friedman's Cold Fire trilogy, which if you haven't read that yet.
I've been seeing a lot about it. Isn't Grim Oak doing...
They're doing a special edition, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good, and especially for you as somebody who likes a little bit of that really kind of grimdark flavor to your fantasy. It's a mashup of science fiction, fantasy, and horror.
Okay, I love that.
And it's a beautiful balance of the three. Like, she does a really good job. A lot of authors do genre blends, but she does it in a way that it feels like you forget it's there. Brilliant character work too, just really cool. So trying to get everyone to read it.
Yeah, I'll add it to the list. Is
Alistair,
it in print right now?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got my copies off of eBay because I'm, cheap like that. But yeah, okay. So I have to ask with Grimdark, because there's been so much conversation going on right now about like different subgenres, and not even subgenres, because I've had several conversations with other reviewers and authors about Grimdark. I think a lot of people call it a subgenre. I feel like it's more of a tone than a subgenre, because you can really kind of paste that tone over any subgenre for the most part, maybe other than cozy. Could be done. So what is it about grimdark stories specifically, that tone that you feel drawn to?
I think it's I don't want to say the realness. I feel like in a lot of epic fantasy, in fantasy in general, yes, the stakes are high, but you kind of know where everything's going.
Sure.
Like, the hero's going to win, the villain's going to lose, or at least some sort of version of losing.
Yeah.
And the journey is really, what's important. How do you get from point A to point B? What I like with Grimdark is if it's done well in certain stories, you really don't know what's going to happen. Everyone's expendable. Everything's expendable. Your protagonist might not win. Right. They might lose very badly.
Right.
So I think it's that uncertainty with Grimdark, and I feel like it adds. It has the ability to add a lot more depth. Sure. And a lot more stakes to character, and especially choices that they make.
Yeah.
And it's one of the problems I have with some fantasy, and this isn't in any specific book, but just in general. Like, I feel a lot of the times characters make decisions in order to get the plot from one point to another, instead of it actually being like something the character would actually realistically do, or that would actually make sense in the setting. Like a lot of dark. And I actually will point out a book that kind of made me mad with this recently, and that was my first foray into like dark romance. And it's Bankermouth.
Okay.
I felt like the grim darkness of the world is more just like an edgy backdrop to plot, instead of actually affecting the plot.
Sure.
Because characters just like went in and out of taking things seriously so much. It kind of give my head whiplash.
Yeah.
And so yeah, to answer your question, I think Grimdark just is a little more serious, or can be a little more serious with its characters.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too, because I think like if you look on the spectrum of like all the way from Noble Bright all the way down to Grimdark, like I tend to land sort of in the Noble Dark area where like the world sucks and there's so many awful things happening and you have no idea who's safe, but the characters are still trying to fight it anyways. Like there's always a sense of, I always have to have that through line of like, we're still fighting for something better. We're still trying to find some kind of purpose. And I think with sometimes in Grimdark, it can almost lean into that sort of like existentialism or nihilism where it's like, there's no point to anything. Everyone sucks all the time, no matter what. I have a really hard time with that because I feel like I leave the book and I'm just exhausted and depressed. And like, so I always like, and I feel like within Grimdark too, and I'm sure, you know, with you reading more of it than I do, that there's a big spectrum of that within Grimdark for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's kind of why, that's mostly what Warhammer is.
Sure.
Kind of what you're describing. Like it's really, especially when you're with like regular humans in the setting, you're really just, it's people, the world sucks. It's horrible. It's an awful place, but they're fighting anyways. And whether it's for, you know, their religion, their families, you know, their brothers in arms, their children, like they're fighting and they're not going to stop fighting.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, and Joe Abercrombie's a lot like that too. Like everyone likes to call him like really grimdark, but his characters all have that little like iota of hope in their story and in their character, and in trying to do what they feel is the right thing,
right? Which
is a lot different than something like you know, R. Scott Baker, who is kind of just like everything sucks, nothing matters,
there's nothing good anywhere. Yeah, that is a series I have basically said, you know, I enjoy hearing some of the discussions that it elicits from my fellow reviewers. I will not be reading it. No, that one's not a good fit for me at all. But it is interesting though, because I do feel like I have heard quite a few conversations from people that have read it that I find really interesting. It's obviously very thought provoking. So
yeah.
But yeah, let's see. Oh, Derry, this is about your what the catalyst was to get you onto Instagram. Tabitha wants to know when you'll be switching to Emperor's Children.
Never, you heretic. Can we get her out of here?
You know, she hasn't technically given me a reason to ban her at this point. Hey Don, how's it going? I only ever see channels I sub to. I have my subs page bookmarked to open. Oh, that's nice. Because then you get just subscription. That's smart. I should do that. Pete, speaking of people at Dragonsteel, Pete was there. That was awesome. Got to meet him for the first time.
Nice.
Tabitha, you know, Andy is a very friendly person. Like he would hang with pretty much anybody.
Also an extrovert.
Also very extroverted. Yeah.
Yeah.
He makes me look like an introvert. Yeah. Like he's way on the other end of the extrovert spectrum. I feel like I kind of match the vibe. So if everybody around me is super introverted, I tend to be the extrovert in the room. But if I'm around a bunch of extroverts, I will tend to look a little bit more introverted because there's a lot of space being taken up. So I just kind of like tone it down a little bit. Okay, Tharnell recommends Caiaphas Cain.
Caiaphas Cain is really good. It's a more humorous series. I wouldn't recommend Caiaphas Cain until you've gotten your feet
not as an intro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's great. It's actually so funny. It's really funny.
Pete, I don't think those are Warhammer books.
Actually, Tchaikovsky has written a few Warhammer books.
Does he really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, shows how much 3. I know. I mean, I don't know. Andrew, would that be a good entry point, or is that like another?
Probably not.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, he did. I mean, you know, this is what I love about the book community is when you're like, man, I don't know what to read. Having people around you who know your reading taste well enough to like circumvent all of the maybe 3-star reads and be like, no, you need to read this one. You're going to really like that. Love that. Do you get recommendations from friends a lot, or do you just kind of
all the time?
Yeah.
I mean, that's mostly what Bookstagram is. I mean, that's why I have all these. It's like more than half of these are probably just things that have been recommended on Instagram and for friends and stuff like that.
Yeah. Speaking of amazing authors, hi Jamie.
yeah. Speaking of amazing authors, that was the first indie book I ever read, by the way.
Oh, cool.
By Blood, by Salt. So
what a standard!
Yeah, like what a standard! What a bar to raise.
Yeah, actually, don't read my books. You've already peaked. Like, yeah. She's brilliant. So, did you read just the first one, or did you read the second one?
I've only read the first one, to my shame.
Second one's even better.
I've heard that. I just keep getting distracted, like I told you before.
Can't relate.
So bad. So I'm just gonna wait for the third one at this point. I'm gonna read them both together.
Hi. So really quickly, my 15-year-old cat is very sweetly asking to be let out of the room.
Oh my goodness.
She's clawing my sleeve, so I'm gonna let her out of the room really quick.
She's huge.
Yeah, she is a very big, fluffy cat, and I love her so much. But yeah, definitely, I think you're going to really like the second book. And yeah, I'm excited that the third book is getting close to coming out, hopefully by the end of this year. That's exciting. Spaced Out Reads. Got some Instagram adjacent folks coming in. Let's see. Hey, yep. I had a question and then my cat distracted me and I'm trying to go back in my brain. Okay, I know what it was. Speaking of being distracted, let's talk about, because we talked about this in Instagram a little bit before when we were talking about setting up the chat. So reading with ADHD.
Yes.
let's dig into that a little bit. Because we have some very strong similarities in the way that we read. And this is so funny because I've had the conversation on YouTube quite a bit that like I do read a lot of books, and there are so many people on YouTube and I'm sure on Instagram too that like don't actually believe that it's humanly possible to read as much as we do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if it's just not a passion for them like it is for us. But yeah, let's talk about the Oh Shiny syndrome and like struggling to keep yourself on task with your reads.
Yeah, I mean, it's a daily thing. It's like a daily struggle.
100%.
And for those who don't know, like ADHD can, manifest itself in different ways. But for a lot of us, it is like almost in all parts of our life is like, ooh, shiny, ooh, shiny. And like, you can't keep your brain focused on one thing. And especially with books, it's like you'll be reading a book and then you'll be like, you walk into your office or your library or whatever and be like, okay, but what about that book?
But that one was really good.
What about that one? And then you start it and then you're like, oh, but I need to finish that other one. But then, oh, well, what about this one? And then it's on and on and on. So I'll be like reading like 4 or 5 books at a time.
So how many books on your shelves have bookmarks in them and were put back?
I haven't counted. I haven't counted.
Yeah, I actually, that would be an interesting, because I don't even know. Some books, I will open them to read them, and there's a bookmark in it already, and I completely forgot that I even started it.
And it's not that it's not that we dislike the book or that we don't want to read it. It's literally just a focus thing.
Yep, 100%. Well, and I don't know, do you feel like reading as a hobby is something that like helps with your attention span? Because I've noticed that the act of literally focusing on a single story as long as I can, I think does help, even though we get distracted very easily. But I do feel like it's a way to kind of ground your brain for a while.
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, it's like anything, practice makes perfect. So if you practice like being mindful and focusing, like that's going to help, I think, in just like your daily life.
Yeah. So true, Derry. Knowing us on the internet works because we can do the number of times I've done Motley crew chats in my pajama pants. Nobody knows. It's great. I actually have jeans on today. I actually like dressed up and everything.
Wow.
I know. If Broken Binding ever does Juliette Marillier, I will be very happy. I will be so excited.
Who's Juliette Marillier?
So she wrote, actually I have the book right here. She wrote the Seven Waters series that starts with Daughter of the Forest.
Okay.
Which is one of my favorite. She writes, it's kind of like a combination of Grimm's fairy tales with a lot of like Celtic folklore. And it's very like magic it's the most druidic book writing style which is accurate just because she's an actual druid. Okay. And the way she writes is just, it's so elemental, very effortlessly elemental, and her character work is so immersive and beautiful, and her character, some of the best female characters I've read in fantasy. Yeah, she's amazing. Okay, we'll pose this question since I love one of the fun parts about having people with ADHD on a conversation is if we counted the number of topics we're going to hit in this conversation, it's going to be off the charts. So, okay, how would we approach cozy fantasy from a grimdark tone? Like, is that possible?
It's absolutely possible. How you would do it, I don't know. I mean, actually, you know what? There would be a way to do it with like humor, because I feel like sometimes, yeah, I feel like sometimes Terry Pratchett does this.
Oh yeah.
I think you would have to approach it with some bit of humor, because if everything's like crazy and awful and bleak, then like the juxtaposition of cozy would almost itself be humorous.
Right.
So yeah, I think you could do that. I don't know of any books like that.
Well, I almost wonder, like, to me, that reads something like if an author is telling a kind of cozy-esque story, but like I know there's some cozies where the main character is like a lich lord who's retired, or like a necromancer, and it's got that kind of dark undertone, but it's still kind of this wholesome setting where there's that, like you said, that kind of juxtaposition of a character that like shouldn't be wholesome.
Actually, you know what? Now that you mentioned that, I actually have a book to recommend for this. Like, if you want like sort of cozy-ish vibes, but also it to be like a grimdark world and setting.
Yep.
Dogged by Michael R. Fletcher. Yeah. Like that. that main character of that book is so cute. in the worst, most like demon infested, bleak world that there is.
Yeah,
she's just an angel. It was such a crazy book to read, but it's one of my favorites of this year.
Did you read it with Spiffbo?
No, I just picked it up. Yeah, Michael R. Fletcher is one of my favorite grimdark authors. So.
Nice. Yeah, I've been seeing the cover everywhere, and I know that a lot of people have been loving it.
It's like take your dog, your family dog, and put him, give him like a bunch of muscles, a spear, train them for war, but they still have the dog mentality. Like they just want to please, they just want to make their human happy.
Cute.
And then it's so great.
That's awesome. I feel like that's a little bit of a tone shift for him too. Like it's a little bit more, maybe more wholesome than he has done in the past.
It was really wholesome. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Based on his other stuff.
It's funny because I feel like sometimes when you read an author where they go more grimdark than you're used to, and you're like, oh my gosh, are you okay? It's almost the opposite for Fletcher, where he's writing something wholesome and everybody's like, you okay? Yeah. All good? Let's see. I want to make sure. Yeah, Noble Dark is my That's my lane. I love a dark world, but I have to have something to hold on to in it, because otherwise I just get depressed, and I don't want to like put the book down and just be depressed.
Yeah.
There he is. Warhammer summoned me. Yep, I kind of figured it might.
We are many.
Yeah, I'm amazed at how many people, because I literally didn't know Warhammer existed before like 3 years ago. Might have heard the name in periphery, but yeah.
Right. I think you'd be surprised how many authors that have actually written
in it.
Yeah.
Well, Tchaikovsky surprised me, but are there some other ones from like big ones from the sci-fi fantasy space that I would know?
Richard Swan.
Oh, okay. Yep.
He's written a few short stories, and I think he has a book going with it. He's written a book for them that's going to be releasing soon. Anna Stevens.
Okay.
Ryan Cahill. I think
really?
has one that's coming. Yeah, there's a bunch.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's technically sort of indie now with all of the new Broken Binding publishing stuff, but it's cool that I feel like I do see the barrier between trad and indie has really disappeared a lot in the last like probably mostly 5 years is where I've seen it the most, which is awesome. So that's really cool. Reading Warhammer since 1997.
Let's go.
When did you get into it?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. And so you hit the ground running, and you're like, this is now a obsession, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We're gonna get Don, bless him. He started watching my channel a while back, and he's gotten into like all sorts of things, and I don't know how many books he's bought since watching my channel. And as always, Don, sorry, not sorry. No, there you go. Andrew agrees with the recommendations.
Dan Abnett's great. He's just a great author.
I know that's the author he recommended. Is Eisenhorn the one, Andrew Meredith, that you recommend? Tell me in the chat, is that the one you recommended to me? Because I couldn't find it on my list. I know it's probably on Goodreads still. Oh, interesting. Have you read Guns of the Dawn yet?
I have not. I do have it though.
So good. That was my first Tchaikovsky read. So what are you reading right now? Like, I know you mentioned you have a bunch of books going right now, a bunch of buddy reads. What are you in the middle of?
So I got this Warhammer book.
Nice. Oh, it's so pretty.
Special edition.
Gorgeous.
I'm reading Shadows Upon Time.
Nice.
Your favorite series.
It is my favorite series, yes.
And then Demon
Star. Okay.
Aragon. So those are the three main ones I'm focusing on right now. I have others, but.
So how far into Shadows Upon Time are you?
Chapter 5. We just started yesterday.
Too early for me to ask how it's going so far?
I'm engrossed. I'm enthralled. Awesome. I love it. Rocky is the best.
Nice.
You're crazy.
That's fair. I get that a lot. It's funny because as you know that because you were there, he was my neighbor for Dragon Steel.
Yeah.
And I busted a gut when I saw the map and I saw that I was right next to him. I was like, I've wanted to meet him really badly because there were so many aspects of Sun Eater that I really did love. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I really want to have him on the channel. I want to do a chat and I want to talk about like aliens and languages and all sorts of fun things. But it was really funny because he's the nicest guy. Like he's such a nice
awesome,
guy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And we got chatting a little bit before the day started on and we were talking about Sun Eater, and I said, yeah, I've read the first couple of books, and Hadrian, I'm not gonna lie, Hadrian drives me a little bit bonkers. And
he still does in Shadows Upon Time.
Oh, I can't. I was like, I got to get out of this man's head. I can't. But Christopher was really funny because he's like, oh yeah, he drives me bonkers too. And I was like, oh, I can't even imagine. So I'm actually really excited to read his fantasy series that he's working on.
Me too.
Because I think I like his writing enough and a lot of the elements of what I think his strengths are as an author that I'm really excited to see what he does in fantasy.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm on board. I'm going to buy them. I'm super excited. Yeah, it was honestly just I needed somebody else's POV other than Hadrian somewhere, please. I can't be in his head that long. 2 books I've tapped out. But I have a lot of friends who are big fans of the series, so I totally love that for you. And I really hope every time somebody gets to the final book in a series that they're reading, I'm just like crossing my fingers for everybody that's like the best time ever and it's a great finale. And so yeah, I hope it's awesome all the way to the end.
Me too.
I've heard good things from the people that have read it so far.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Are you a Stephen King reader?
I am not. Okay. I haven't read him for a very long time.
Okay. I have not. Well, I've read 2 books now. I wasn't anticipating reading a second one, but then Joanna from Joanna Reads on YouTube sent me a message and she was like, "Hey, do you randomly want to read The Shawshank Redemption with me, John and Jacob?" And I was like, I mean, I'm shocked that you asked me, but sure. So yeah, the movie was phenomenal. I really liked the movie a lot. The book.
See, now I've heard people say that have read Shawshank Redemption that the movie's better.
It is 100% better.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Because have you seen the movie?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think there are some differences between the book and the movie. But I think they really captured the spirit of the story really beautifully. And I mean, Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman. I mean, come on. Like, yeah. It was so good. They were both excellent. And yeah, movie was great. Really liked it. I mean, I'm gathering that we like Dan Abnett.
Yeah.
Good author.
Top 2 Black Library author for sure.
Okay. Who's the other one?
Aaron Dembski Bowden.
Okay.
Space Out Reads will know who that is.
Okay.
Well, any Warhammer person will, but I think Space Out Reads is reading a book by him right now, actually.
Okay. Actually making really good progress, Monty. I am about 85,000 words in, and it's going to probably land somewhere around the 200,000 mark. Nice. And I've written like 60,000 words in the last 2.5 months. So I'm cruising and I'm feeling really good about it. And there's always that kind of fear as an author. You put out a book, and Bloodstones is my heart and soul series. Like that series is my love letter to everything I love about epic and dark fantasy and everything I love about like different globally inspired cultures and all sorts of things that I've been in love with since I was a kid. And so there's a lot of pressure because that first book, I was like, okay, I feel really good about this. I'm really proud of the book that I wrote. And then you have to like repeat it, but do it a little bit better with the sequel. So that is a completely different experience writing a sequel. And I'm feeling good about where it's at right now. And I'm hoping for a 2027, like mid 2027 release. So I'm excited about that. Let's see. I wanted to make sure there weren't any other questions. Truth. Broken Binding does Marillier editions. We're going to be broke. That's a good way to put it, Derry. Daughter of the Forest is like magical realism in the time of fairy tales. It's very Celtic folklore inspired, but it doesn't feel like it's not like a lighthearted, fluffy fairy tale. It's like actual fairy tale.
Like the real fairy tales.
Yeah, Grimm's fairy tales vibe.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I like that.
Hey, Zamar. There was a Pratchett mentioned, Derry, so I have to ask what you've read of Pratchett because we are big fans on this channel of Pratchett.
Mort.
Just Mort so far?
Just that's the only one I've read so far. But
that's a good starting point.
I was gonna say, like, I know I'm gonna love Guards. Like, I just know it. But like I haven't read it yet, so I can't claim that.
I will be absolutely shocked if you don't love the City Watch.
Yeah, I mean,
I will be shocked.
Everything I've seen of it, I was like, come on. Like, this is right up my alley.
Well, especially when you were describing Gaunt's Ghosts, I was like, I mean, but Pratchett?
Yeah.
Basically, like all of those things, but Pratchett.
I have a feeling Caiaphas Cain is a little like Guards.
In that direction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So are you like, you you like humor, because I know that's a big sticking point, I think, for a lot of people, is humor in their fantasy. A lot of people are like, no, I don't like humor in my fantasy, which I think is interesting. And I can definitely see like types of humor make a big difference. But are you somebody that enjoys reading humor in your fantasy, or is that something that you're kind of like give or take?
It really depends on what kind of humor it is. I like anything in my fantasy. I like when different aspects are brought to fantasy instead of just the, you know, the usual epic fantasy type deal. But yeah, I love humor if it's funny, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
if it's not just, you know, crude jokes.
Right. Yeah. I can't remember, did you try Dungeon, or did you read Dungeon Crawler Carl?
Yes, and I do love Dungeon Crawler.
You do love it. Okay. I couldn't remember. It's hard to keep track after a while of like who's read what and what they like and what, you know. I do my best.
It helps being a game. I've been a gamer for like most of my life. So Dungeon Crawler Carl is like right on my alley.
Yeah. I love the gaming aspect of DCC so much. I love the like the little nerdy isms that all of us would get. Like, but it's and I think he works it into the story. Really, that was the thing that I liked so much about it, and that kept me away from lit RPG before that, is, to me, a lot of times the mechanics overshadow the characters.
Yeah.
And with DCC, it was like, it's so character driven, which I really liked about it a lot.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Grimdark Cozy. Necromancer who opens a coffee shop or bookstore, because that's never been done in Cozy before. But yeah, hey, you know what? Maybe Hunter will retire and she'll open a coffee shop. Who knows? Zamar has a Grimdark Cozy novella. Okay. In the Riven Earth. That's the one that was in your Riven Earth world, right? I think. Personally, I'm more into Warhammer Fantasy, the old era. I check.
See, now we can't get her into the fantasy and Age of Sigmar. Like we gotta focus on 40K right now. We'll break her brain. Like
I feel like even from the outside, knowing nothing, having read nothing, Warhammer already breaks my brain, and I haven't even started yet.
We won't go into that, but there are 3 different universes. So
okay.
That's a whole another bag of worms.
I mean, it helps being a fantasy nerd, so like that doesn't immediately scare me off, but like yeah. Okay, so talking about unique fantasy, obviously I'm gathering that like really straight-laced plot-driven hero's journey probably isn't your cup of tea too often.
No.
Okay. I felt like that was a pretty safe assumption.
I mean, I can enjoy it, but like
sure.
I like a little more I want to say spice, because that has a different connotation. Yeah, something a little bit more. So in your opinion, out of what you've read so far, what are some of the most like unique and surprising fantasy books that you've loved? Well, one we just talked about, By Blood, by Salt.
Yeah.
That was really unique. I think anything by R.J. Barker has been pretty unique. And
sure.
Just kind of very like ethereal and
yeah,
almost whimsy, but dark at the same time.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Let me think here. Yeah.
I ask really hard questions on these chats.
Yeah. I would say Empire of the Vampire kind of surprised me. Sure. I wasn't sure that I was gonna love the hot topic sort of edge to Empire of the Vampire, but I ended up really, really enjoying the series.
Okay.
I wasn't that big a fan of the ending, but the 3 books I really adored. So that was kind of a surprise to me. And I like how he kind of flipped everything on its face and just said, we're gonna be punk, we're gonna be edgy, we're gonna be, not PC. And I thought he really delivered for most of it.
That's awesome. I did hear a lot of mixed reviews on the ending.
Not my favorite, but it was a good journey.
It's interesting because I always wonder when people talk about like I feel like endings are that's the part that I feel like all authors get nervous about, because it's like you've written the series, now you got to really stick the landing. And I feel like so often it's that kind of polarizing mixed opinion kind of feel to some of the series ends really comes down to a lot of times the reader expectations of like, this is what I want to happen at this point because I've invested so much with these characters and this is what I want to see happen. And then if it doesn't, there's kind of a like, I don't know. I often wonder like how much of a percentage that that expectation plays into whether somebody's going to be okay with the ending or not.
Yeah. Obviously, I can't say anything too much
sure.
because of spoilers, but I will say the ending to Empire of the Vampire, I feel like isn't really about expectations because of how it is structured.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, it's just not what I would have done. We'll just say
sure. That. Yeah. Sounds like, I mean, that sounds like you need to write a book is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, no. I can barely read books and keep my focus on that.
Says the guy with like giant bookshelves behind him.
I'll start like some of my favorite authors. I'll start like maybe doing some fanfic for Warhammer and see where that goes.
Hey, a lot of people start with fan fiction, and honestly, it's interesting because there was a kind of school of thought for a while where it was like, oh, you don't start with fan fiction. That's like, and I'm like, hey, imitation is a great way to like get started if you're having a hard time coming up with your own world and idea. Like obviously you don't want to stay there forever, but just getting some of that experience with a world you're familiar with, I think can be a really good place to start. So
yeah. Is that how you got started?
Did I write any fan fiction? I mean, I think it was more, I don't know that I wrote much down, but I always had, even since I was a little kid, I was like, okay, but what kind of like you were just saying, I don't really like how that ended. So if I were going to do that, where would it go and what would I change and which character would I follow? So I've been doing kind of that in my head as I read. And I've actually had to, like, having the BookTube channel and being a reviewer and an author has really helped me compartmentalize that to where I can read a book and I can't completely turn my author brain off ever. Right. But I can enjoy it as a reader and kind of dial back that author brain that's like super hypercritical of like, how is it structured and where is this happening? And like, but sometimes if I am not jiving with a book super heavily, that turns back on higher and I'm just like, oh, this is a mess because this and this. And I can get a little hypercritical about it. So I have to be careful. I don't let that go too much.
So did you write anything before Phased?
Oh yeah. So I started writing chapter books when I was 12.
Oh wow.
And I wrote a book about the American West from the perspective of a wild horse because I was a horse crazy nut at the time. And my mom was like, hey, let's publish this as a homeschool project and it'll be great fun. We'll give copies to like my friends and family and then we'll move on with our lives. And I fell in love with it. And then people we didn't know started asking us if they could get a copy of it. And it just spiraled out of control really fast. And I ended up writing 9 books between the ages of 12 and 19. And I traveled all over doing young writers conferences and homeschool conventions. And I actually was like kind of a contemporary of Christopher Paolini at the time because he had just published Aragon. I want to say, I think he's like 2 or maybe 3 or 4 years older than me. So I was like just after him. So that was like, we'd go to the homeschool conventions and it was like Christopher Paolini was like the big news about, publishing Aragon and all of that stuff. Awesome. Yeah. So then I took a big, almost 10-year break, got married, had kids, and this is kind of the chapter 2.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I don't know that I would say any of my previous books would be in your wheelhouse, but yeah, I mean, it taught me a lot because I essentially published my journey of learning to be a writer, sort of, which, now looking back, I learned so much from that. And I definitely think it gave me a huge head start in my second chapter just because I'm already familiar with the kind of like professional side of it.
Right.
And that helped a lot. And I also had a thicker skin going into the second chapter where, like, 2-star reviews do not bother me.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not one of those authors that's going to go whine and complain on, Instagram or TikTok about like, I got a 2-star review. I can't believe it. So yeah, but it was good. And I've really loved getting back involved with the book community and meeting everybody, and everybody's been super supportive, and yeah, it's been awesome.
Well, let me ask you this about
Yeah.
reviews, since you mentioned it. How do you deal with reviews? Do you care at all? Do you like?
I mean, I can't lie and say I don't care at all, because I'm human. So I think the hardest ones, if somebody, like, here's the difference, and this is what I always tell people. If somebody comes in and they're like, you know what, I read Phased, read Bloodstones, whatever, and it just didn't jive with me. I didn't like it because I'm not really a fan of this trope or this thing or whatever. That does not bother me at all. That doesn't bother me at all. Because then it's just like, totally get that. I am the same way. Sometimes books work for me, sometimes they don't, and that's totally fine. The ones that are the hardest to leave alone are the ones where somebody says something that is just blatantly incorrect. Like, that's the hardest part, where I'm like, nope, I'm not, I can't, I'm not, I have promised to stay, like, I don't respond to any reviews. I read a lot of them, but I don't respond to any of them, because I'm a big compartmentalizer between reviewer and author.
Absolutely.
Like, if a reviewer reaches out to me, I am more than happy to have a conversation with them. If they tag me and stuff, that's a completely different, scenario. But yeah, sometimes people will say stuff and I'm just like, either it didn't even happen, or like, how did you get that out of, okay. Like, those are the hard ones. Those are the ones that I have to, like, take a deep breath and remind myself to just put it down, close the tab, and walk away. Yeah. So, but yeah, if somebody's just like, yeah, this didn't work for me, great. That's totally fine.
But you're not one of those authors that like checks the Goodreads score every day and be like, oh man, I went down 0.01.
I mean, I check it every once in a while out of curiosity, but I also have reminded myself, like, anytime I even start looking at the average numbers, I go back to some of my favorite authors and I look at theirs, because it's the same. Like, and a lot of the authors that I love and read are off the beaten path. They're not the mainstream, like, super trendy tropes and all that kind of stuff. And Goodreads is a popularity contest. Let's be real. It really is. So,
yeah.
If A Court of Thorns and Roses has a higher average rating than something like Juliette Marillier or whoever else, I'm like, I mean, you can only be so mad about that, for so long, because it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of authors, especially that are new and especially that are coming into the indie space, publishing their books, and it's often their first book and it's like the first project they've ever worked on, and they get too lost in the weeds with that. And it's like, you gotta just, you can't let a number on the internet tell you to stop writing. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta write a book that you love, and the right people will find it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's kind of my
I also get mad when reviews are like you didn't even read the book. Like, there's no way you read the book with that review. Like, and especially like when I love something and I see like a 1-star or 2-star, I'm like, and I read it, I'm like, oh, what did they like about it? And it's like blah blah blah. And I'm like, did we read the same book?
Right.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, and that's why, like, even if I leave a lower star rating for a book, I work really hard in my reviews to, like, give a very balanced explanation of, like, here's what I really like. Like, even when I did Howling Dark, I was like, here's what I really loved about it. Here's what did not work for me about it. So I think there's a difference between, like, the 2-star reviews that, like, trash the book, which drive me nuts, and then the ones where, like, even if you disagree, it's like, okay, well, at least you gave me some, like, explanation as to what specifically you didn't like, and all of that. So I try really hard to do that when I'm reviewing. So it's not just a, like, ugh.
It tends to be a little more common in the grimdark space, I feel like, because I feel like a lot of people they get suggested grimdark books, like, and I'm talking like actual grimdark books, like really. And then they'll leave like a 1 or 2 star review, and they'll like describe basically what grimdark is in the review.
Right.
And it's like, well, but how did you not know that going in? Like, that's what this is. And so it's tough, I think, for some grimdark authors, and I feel like horror authors are like that as well. Horror authors tend to get just like lower reviews in general, just because people, I think, are a little more picky when it comes to like scary and like dark things.
Yeah. Is there, like, as a grimdark reader, do you feel like do you have any like here's a content line that like I won't read a book with, like, do you feel like you have boundaries in that, or are you pretty open with like, I want to see what the author's doing with whatever topic they decide to explore?
I feel like I'm pretty open to most things. It just has to be in service of the plot and the themes and the narrative. Like, I don't like gratuitous things. I have no time for that. So as long as it's serving a purpose, I'm pretty open.
Yeah, that's why it's so funny, because like, as you know, probably at this point, I talk a lot about sexual violence in fantasy and how gratuitous it often is. And the number of people, it's like this with, the book reviews too, like the number of people that will leave comments where I'm like, okay, tell me you didn't watch the video without telling me, because I didn't actually say what you're saying I said. Like, the number of people that are like, I can't believe you don't think that like whatever thing should never be in fantasy. And I'm like, I never said that. That's not what I said. I said how it's handled is the important part, not that it's in there or not. Because I'm like, Daughter of the Forest has some really heavy stuff in there, and I think it's handled really responsibly. She does such a phenomenal job with it, and I'm like, I'm totally fine with it being in there. I'm totally fine with her using that as a element of the story. Again, it's just, how is it handled? Is it being thrown in as shock value? Because then now we have a problem.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel the same way. It's like, and I'm the same way with horror too. Like, I don't do cheap scares. I don't do gratuitous like violence or gore or stuff like that. Like, I want a plot, I want a story, I want characters, I want world building.
So from your reading so far, what are your like top 5, either top 5 or like, what's your Mount Rushmore of grimdark authors?
Am I including Warhammer authors in that?
You can.
I'll leave them out for now.
Okay.
Obviously Lord Grimdark himself, Joe Abercrombie.
Sure.
Michael R. Fletcher. Rob J. Hayes, who has a Grimdark series. I really love his writing.
He's good.
I know I've read other Grimdark. I'm just blanking right now.
Like, whenever you're asked the question of like what your favorite books or authors are, and you're like, I've never read a book in my life. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, Mark Lawrence.
Okay.
I know it's a little controversial, but I really like Prince of Thorns.
Yeah.
I know people dislike it for various reasons, but and then who else? I guess I will put a Warhammer author up there. Aaron Dembski Bowden.
Okay.
Who takes like crazy, bleak, like bonkers, grimdark ideas and puts like people in there with like the craziest amount of humanity and like autonomy, and you really see growth and you see depth, and he's one of the best at it. And that's kind of my favorite part of grimdark, is when, like you said before, like when the stakes are so high and everything sucks and like no one knows if they're going to live the next hour, and seeing what that does to a person, seeing how people make decisions, seeing like what they hold on to, like what hope there is, and how that affects them. And he does that almost better than anybody, I feel like.
I love those kind of stories. I read a lot of like survival based stories because of that, because it's the same thing where it's like when you put somebody in a survival situation, you find out who they are really quick. And I love it kind of chops out a lot of the kind of fluff on top, and you get to see like, who are these characters really? What are they going to do when push comes to shove for real?
Yeah.
And kind of, because I'm not really like a chit chat person either. Like if I sit down with somebody, I'm not going to be like, so how's the weather? I'm like, what are you really afraid of? Like, what is the most impactful person that you've met in the last, you know, like I want to actually like know past that kind of top level of stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I totally get that. And I feel like that's a commonality between Noble Dark and Grimdark, honestly. I feel like that's very common with both, where like,
it is.
Yeah, you're in a really, you put your characters in a really tough situation. What are they going to do? Who are they going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I forgot George R. R. Martin, obviously.
Oh, sure. Favorite Game of Thrones character?
Oh, don't do this to me.
I just did.
Is it bad if I say Ned Stark?
No, absolutely not.
No, I can't do Ned Stark. He's only in one book.
Doesn't matter.
Probably Jaime.
Yeah.
Jaime in the book, Tyrion in most of the show.
Yeah, that's fair. Jaime is a really interestingly written character. I think there's a lot about his character that's super compelling.
Yeah.
And I mean, Peter Dinklage, come on. Like, they could not have cast Tyrion better. There was nobody else that could have played that role.
To me, like, Tyrion's way better in the show than he is in the books.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I agree with that. Yeah, I had read Game of Thrones way before I got onto BookTube, like way back in like
same, yeah,
after college. So yeah, I've seen all this. I haven't seen House of the Dragon. I haven't watched House of the Dragon, but I did watch Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Oh, so good. Dunk and Egg just make me so happy. I love them so much. They're great.
That's kind of another example of like the Noble Dark.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like most of Game of Thrones leans very grimdark, but Night of the Seven Kingdoms felt a little bit more Noble Dark to me, because you've got like, you know, like Dunk is more of a character that leans into that kind of Ned Stark lane, where he's a hero despite everything that's going around him. And yeah, the relationship between him and Egg is just, it's adorable. I love it.
It is. I love it.
I love it so much. Riders of the Dead.
That is a really good one.
Okay. Noted.
I have that one.
I'm not Britain. I am like live under a rock with Warhammer. That's why I'm bringing in the experts so that I can figure out where to start.
The goal for every Warhammer reader is to corrupt their friends into reading it with them.
I feel like that's a very common BookTube, Bookstagram vibe in general.
Everyone must read it.
Everyone must read, my favorites. Yeah. So when you like, when you're giving recommendations to your friends, is it one of those things where you're like, I love this series, you should read it? Or is it like, do you kind of, sometimes I feel like the reading taste, I'm like, I really want you to read this, I don't know if you're gonna like it.
No, I'll definitely, you know, curate to
caveats,
what they like, because I don't want them to ruin it by saying they hate it. So,
exactly. Yeah.
So if I love a book but I know they're gonna hate it, I'm not gonna.
You have to read it and you have to love it. Those are the two. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, it was Eisenhorn. I thought that sounded familiar. You know what? The number of buddy reads I could read during a year is wild. I'm sure you can relate. Like the number of times you're like, I could buddy read this with this person, and my entire year of reading.
Yeah.
Do you like buddy reads, or do you feel like it changes your experience with the book at all, or your reading experience?
I love buddy reads, but I'm also very bad at them. So I tend to try to keep the amount down to like maybe one or two at a time.
Bad at it as in like, are you the duster where you like speed past everybody, or is it like you want to take your time with it?
Both.
Okay.
My ADHD is like, I'll like be so behind, and then one night I'll just get like hyperfixation, and it'll like zoom past everyone, and it can't be stopped. It can't be tamed.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel bad for my buddy readers, but no, I mean, I've buddy read Sun Eater with
nice.
Ashley from Library of a Silver Saint.
Oh yeah. I need to chat with her. Everybody keeps telling me I need to meet her.
Yeah, she's amazing, and that's been an amazing experience.
Cool.
So yeah, that has opened my eyes to buddy reads and how they can be.
Yeah.
But it's mostly a me problem.
Well, I think it's finding the right people and having a flexibility where both readers can like, kind of match each other's pace. And I think it takes the right person to be able to like, get a good buddy read relationship going for sure.
Yeah. And it's also how I made a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Instagram is, me and Ashley also buddy read Best Served Cold from Joe with Jake, Nerd Level Rising.
Yeah.
And we became our own little circle from that as well. So cool. It's been a really good experience buddy reading. I just need to, get better at it.
It's one of those, like, it's a skill set.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So out of the Sun Eater books that you've read so far in this buddy read, which one is the favorite so far? Obviously you haven't finished
Disquiet Gods.
Disquiet Gods.
Disquiet Gods every day. Oh my goodness. I've thought about it every day since I finished it. It's my new Roman Empire. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And I wish so badly that I could discuss it with you.
I mean, I'll never say never.
You know what the funny thing is, Tori, is so you didn't enjoy Howling Dark that much, right?
No.
Yeah. Disquiet Gods is like Howling Dark on steroids.
Oh,
so I don't know if you would like it.
Do you know what it was? And this is not for anybody listening. Like, this is not a spoiler for any events that happen in the book, because like for me to tell anyone in the audience that like it's a scene where Hadrian is sitting in a room thinking, that's like 60% of the book. Okay.
Yeah.
But there was one moment where he's like contemplating the secrets of the universe, as he does on a regular basis. Yeah. And he equates something to like a pair of otters who are like swimming off the edge. And I was like, I cannot. What? Like, Hadrian, you need to go outside and touch grass if there is any grass where you're at. And you need to like, I think you need to try to find a new hobby. Like, buddy, your brain's melting.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you, and that's who he is. And if you don't like that, I can see why you would like the series.
That's the hard part, is I feel like if Hadrian was one of the POVs, I would have kept going 100%.
Yeah.
But because you are in Hadrian's head and I don't know how many pages total the series is, but it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know if I would be a person that anyone would want to be around after 7 books in Hadrian's head. But I mean, the thing that I've heard from a lot of my friends that really love the series, and I love hearing people talk about it, because like there's so many interesting, I think seeing Rocchio's trajectory as an author through the series is what I hear a lot of people talk about. And also the way that he digs into themes in a way that a lot of other authors maybe don't go quite as far. Yeah, I've heard really great things about that. I'm assuming, like, so out of, what is it about Sun Eater? Why is that series like so up there for you?
I kind of feel like it's made for me. Like my number one genre of all time has always been space opera.
Sure.
That's my favorite type of story, my favorite type of narrative and setting. And this is kind of like a grimdark space opera.
Yeah.
I love the world building, but more so, I love the themes that he applies to that world building and to what's happening, and to what's going on around Hadrian.
Right.
And in the beginning, there's less of that, but especially when you get to like Kingdoms of Death and further on, like the themes get kind of huge and poignant.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my favorite thing about Disquiet Gods, is like there is a lot of heavy themes, philosophy, religiosity. And I love how he explored that in a sci-fi space opera setting. It was a perfect book.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. A lot of people that I've talked to have said that Kingdoms of Death is their favorite.
And it was mine before Disquiet Gods.
Yeah. First of all, can we just talk about the titles of that series? They're so good. They're so good. Great titles. Brilliant titles. One of the things I really liked about, because I read the first 2 novels and also The Lesser Devil, the novella in between.
Mm-hmm.
And loved getting Crispin.
Crispin, yep.
Yeah, Crispin's POV. And that I think reading the novella honestly was part of the lead up to me being like, I want other POVs in this world. Like I want other perspectives. And jumping into Crispin's perspective for Lesser Devil, I think just kind of exacerbated that like desire for the next book. But I think for me, one of the obvious strengths that Rockio had right away in the first 2 books is just writing aliens. And as a space opera nerd, I'm sure you will relate to this. Writing aliens is a very specific skill that I feel a lot of science fiction authors basically they write humans, but they have weird faces or like
humans but blue.
Yeah, exactly.
Humans but red.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Rockio's Cielson feel so alien. They feel so alien.
You have no idea. He gets so much better with it, Tori.
Yeah.
And there, I mean, and there's other races in there too that he does. You can tell he's put the time into like thinking about like convergent evolution and like how things would evolve and like change and act like in a place that's like not Earth-like. So
yeah.
And that's I also
that's hard to do. That is really hard to do. Yeah. So yeah, that was one thing I noticed right away that I was like, if I had to pick one thing about his writing that I think is just far and away a huge strength, it was just the way that immediately these are aliens and they do not feel human in any way. And I love that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, I'll never say never. I have Demon in White on my Kindle. So I have book 3. And I think after giving it a little bit of time, maybe I won't say never.
I think so. A lot of people dislike the first few books in Sun Eater that I've seen, mostly because of the pacing. But it doesn't seem like you have a problem with the pacing.
It dragged for me for sure. The middle of Howling Dark. I think my problem, like one of the issues I ran into, is everybody told me, okay, Howling Dark is going to make it for you. Like you're going to absolutely love Howling Dark, and it's going to be, smooth sailing from there. And the part of Howling Dark where everybody said, once you get to this part of Howling Dark, it's going to take off like crazy. I got there and I was like, I don't really care though. I think I was so burned out from emotional character perspective because I'm a character reader. If I'm stuck in one person's head, I got exhausted. And by the time the big reveals started happening, I was so tired of Hadrian that I didn't really care about anything else. And I felt like, especially at the end of Howling Dark, there were a couple of character assassinations, not literal, but like writing character assassinations that really made me mad. That I won't get into for spoilers, but that was kind of the final blow for me, where I was like, this is so plot driven. It's driving me nuts and I can't handle it. It's driving me nuts. This character, based on everything I've known about them up until this point, would not do what they just did. Fine, whatever. So, and I think the time jumps are interesting because I think from a plot standpoint, they're fine. From a character standpoint, they're tough. They're really tough.
I agree, and that was one of the sticks I had with this when I first started, was the time jumps.
Yeah.
But as I've read on, there's so much story that Rockio is trying to tell that totally. I understand the need for it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, because and that's one thing I love about him, is he's very cognizant of the machinations of physics in the world that we're set in.
Yeah.
So his story doesn't really work unless you do huge time
jumps. Big time jumps, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I came to understand that. Also, it leads to a lot of really fun novellas and short stories.
Yeah.
So
because I'm trying to remember how many. There's like 4 or 5 at least novellas, aren't there?
How many novellas are there? I think there are.
Because there's Lesser Devil, Queen of Mid-Ashes,
Dregs of Empire.
Is there a 4th one?
No, I think that's
just
it.
The 3?
But there's 4 different short story anthologies.
Yeah.
Tales of the Sun Eater.
Are all of the novellas and short stories from other POVs?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Well, wait. I think Queen of Mid-Ashes is not. I think that's Hadrian's POV.
Still Hadrian. Okay.
Yeah. And there's a few of the short stories that are his POV, but there's a lot of not Hadrian POVs, and those are always awesome.
Yeah.
Especially in Tales 3 is where he really like gets in his stride for telling stories that aren't Hadrian, I feel like. And that set of stories really made me want like more stories in the Sun Eater universe, because he does so much with other parts of like the world and galaxy and characters that I'm like, this rocks. Like I want more.
Yeah. I think that's one of the toughest parts as an author, is especially when you're dealing with a really big world. So like Bloodstones is part of a trilogy, but that trilogy is part of a much bigger world that I actually started with a series that starts half a generation later.
Okay.
When I was in college, I started building the world, and then as I was doing some prep work for that, I realized I want to tell the story that happened before that. And it is so hard, and I can't even imagine, like, that's just like 2 generations worth of world building. I can't even imagine trying to tell a story from hundreds and hundreds of years of history and back. Like, there's just so much there that trying to pinpoint which characters do you follow, which ones do you give a moment for a short story or a novella, like what do you focus on? There's so much. That's tough.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's tough. When you build yourself a really big playground, you have to pick where you're gonna stay on this.
I don't want to leave it. Like I kind of have an existential crisis about reading Shadows Upon Time. I'm like, I don't want this to end. I love being here.
It's such a amazing feeling as a reader, though, to get a series where you just are like 7 books in, I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like it sucks at the end because you don't want to leave, but also it's awesome to have found that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you feel like you've had that kind of like really deep immersive experience with series outside of Sun Eater that have reached that same kind of level?
I don't think so. Okay. No, I think Sun Eater is definitely the top for me.
Yeah.
The First Law trilogy was getting there.
Sure.
But again, space opera is kind of like my favorite type of story narrative. So I think that just I tell people when I finished Howling Dark, I felt a way that I haven't felt since I first watched Star Wars as a kid.
Love that.
That's how meaningful it was to me. And that's kind of how it's been since then.
Yeah.
And I don't think a series has really hit that height for me so far, other than Sun Eater. Although there's some that have tried.
Yeah.
And some that I think might, like Malzahn, I think might be that for me as well.
How far in are you?
0, none.
Oh, you haven't started it yet. Okay.
No. Okay. Hopefully this year, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see. But yeah, there's a bunch of series I think could get there for me as well.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, book 2 of Malazan is my favorite fantasy book of all time. So.
Which one is that? Is that
Deadhouse Gates?
Deadhouse Gates. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that from a lot of people, actually.
Love Deadhouse Gates. I read that in college, and yeah, it was one of those kind of like you're talking about with Sun Eater. It just, there are certain books or series that just hit you at the exact right time.
Yeah.
And just like, and I think there are some things, like I go back, and I'm sure you can relate to this too, like series that I read again now that I'm a parent, totally different experience. Right? Totally different experience. And certain things hit you differently, even not even just as a parent, but like in different stages of life. I feel like you notice different themes and different different details that you didn't maybe the first time around or wouldn't have like 10 years ago.
Things definitely hit harder when you're a parent.
For sure.
For at least for certain things. You definitely take on a different perspective. So I was never a crier when it came to books.
Sure.
At all. But I will admit there's been some books since I became a father that, get a little single man tear out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I don't think that would have happened before. So it's kind of opened up a whole new area of enjoying books for me.
Yeah. I bring this up. I think I brought this up on like 3 or 4 live streams at this point, but there's a line in Anna Karenina, which I haven't read the full book, but I've heard the line before that there's a father that picks up his newborn daughter for the first time. And the line is something like, and suddenly I became aware of all the ways the world could hurt me.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing truer as a parent. It completely changes. Like fear as a word has a completely different meaning now.
Yeah. I've never had anxiety. I've never been an anxious person until I had my son.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, everything that could go wrong, everything, like, it's just, it never ends. Like everyone's told me, it's like, no, it's like this for the rest of your life now. I'm like, well, great.
Yep. Welcome. Yeah. Well, I think it's true on both ends of the spectrum too. Like, that pain and fear and all of that stuff takes on a new meaning. And so does like joy and the way that you experience the world. Like seeing, we've gotten to a point usually where there's a kind of cynicism about like, we know what the world is like and we've been through enough that like, it's hard to take those little moments and really appreciate them. And then when you have a tiny child in your life where like suddenly a dandelion is the biggest deal, like that brings back some of that, I think, joy and innocence that we let go of in adulthood. So I love that.
100%.
I know, Zen. I'm sorry. I feel so bad because Zen was so excited for me to read Sun Eater. He bothered me about it for like 2 years. And then I read it and then I DNF'd after Howling Dark. And I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, Zen. Again, maybe I'll continue at some point. I just needed a break. I've been totally ignoring chat because we've been having a great conversation. I won't jinx myself, Derry. Don't worry. I've figured out my writing process during this book in a way that like works really well as an ADHD writer, which is its own can of worms. And I've found a rhythm that I think actually works really, really well with my brain now, which is exciting. It only took me like 20 years of writing books, but here we are. Yes, you're gonna freaking love City Watch. I can't wait.
I have like 10 Pratchett books because I went a little crazy, but I'm sure I love most of them.
So if you read the first book in a series and you really like it, do you just go out and like full on buy the rest of the series right away?
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that before I even read the series, which is probably not a good idea.
I've done that a few times too. Yeah. Yeah, I bought the entire hardcover Sun Eater series.
Oh my goodness!
Before reading Empire of Silence, that was out because I think Ashes of Man was the last one out when I did that. Maybe that'll be our trade. Like I'll read. Try to, not that it's completely even in terms of page count, but I'll try and read some more Sun Eater, and then we'll have a conversation about Disquiet Gods and City Watch.
Hey, that sounds great to me.
That sounds great to me because I love City Watch. It's my favorite fantasy series of all time now. And it actually superseded Malazan this last year.
Oh wow!
So yeah. Color of Magic as a starting point for Discworld. Like I'm not going to tell anybody not to do it, but it's definitely a different flavor of Discworld because he was like discovering the world and what he wanted to do with it.
Right.
Oh, there's some people accusing me of heresy about. I'm sorry, Sun Eater fans. I know. I know. Let's see. I'm catching up, guys. I've been ignoring you for like. Oh, hey, look, we have so many Andrews in this conversation. Wizard's here now. It is a surprisingly prevalent name in the book community, I've noticed. There's a lot of Andrews.
Andrew was a very popular name in the 90s, so.
That's true. Yeah, I don't meet a lot of Tories.
Really? I actually know quite a few Tories.
Do you really? Because I think back when I was born, Victoria was fairly common, but it was a lot of people I knew in the like 90s were Vicky instead of Tory. I am not a Vicky. Ever.
No, I feel like Tory sounds better. No offense to Vicky's, but
I agree. I'm biased. Yeah, and it's like, shout out to all the Vickies. That is not a name that I would ever respond to because that's just not me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. I'm almost down to the bottom of the. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being so present. And I'm sorry that I've ignored you for like half an hour. Hey, thanks, Britton. I appreciate that. Yeah, I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the ending and stuff. It's very light compared to what a lot of the stuff that you read, but I did dabble in a little bit of that kind of paranormal horror. So,
well, that's great. I need something to change it up a little bit.
There you go. So, is there a genre like that you are just like, this is just not for me, like a full genre of books?
That's a good question. No, because I'm willing to try anything, and I don't give up very easily.
Sure.
I've been trying to find a romantasy book that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Because I want so badly to be on the romantasy train because there's so many books. They all look like, I like the covers.
Yep.
And all that. But so far, I have not found one that I can get with. But I'll try. I'm gonna keep trying.
It's out there somewhere. It's gonna happen. Yeah. Which ones have you tried so far?
That's the thing. It's like I don't even remember the last one I tried was Daggermouth.
Sure.
And that's not really romantasy. It's like a dark. It's in the romantasy like peripheral. But I have been told to try Throne of Glass. So that might be my next one that I try.
I know a couple of people that have really enjoyed that a lot more than anything else that she's written at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think maybe because at that point when she was writing, it was the romantasy aspect was like there, but it was more restrained because she hadn't just gone full bore on it yet.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, assassin stories are always fun. So.
And I have no problem with romance. In fact, in the last Warhammer book, Space Out Reads and I had read, there's an actual romance, if you can believe it, in a Warhammer book that was like more compelling than any romantasy book I've read because they were actual characters with like a plot and like depth, and they were like growing together. Yeah, exactly.
Imagine.
So like I like it, like it when it's there and done well. I just need to be able to find that where it's not just like, wow, look at his muscles. I'm gonna sleep with him now. Like
yeah.
And that's another shot at Daggermouth.
Insta-lust is such a tough trope. I hate it so much.
Well, especially when the character, I'm gonna go on a rant here. Especially when the character is supposed to hate that guy.
Yeah, but he's hot, so it's fine.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know, I know Jake and Ashley have done videos on this, but like, it's almost insulting to the reader and to who you think your readers are when you like take a character and he's been this horrible person that's done horrible things and you are supposed to hate him because you want to kill him. And then he's like cooking eggs and you see his muscles and you're like, oh, wow, look at like, what?
Yeah.
That's how you view women? Like, come on.
Yep. Well, and I just posted or sent a post to one of my friends from Instagram that was like complaining about the enemies to lovers trope because it's like it's become literally he was rude once, therefore now it's an enemies to lovers trope. Like as opposed to like these two people are on opposite sides of a war and absolutely hate each other, or their families have been killing each other for like whatever, and like actually have a reason to be full on enemies. Like, give me that.
Yeah.
Not, oh my gosh, he was rude to me at the ball, so now we're enemies, but he's still really hot, so it's fine. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah, and there has to be books that like are good with that. I know there is.
Yeah.
I just need to find them.
I will send you a recommendation for one that I read recently, but I can't say on the stream because it's for a secret project that I haven't posted yet. Okay. But it's a romance that literally, I loved it so fast, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is what I have been wanting in like any kind of romance. I love like romance subplots. When they're well done. Totally love it. But yeah, so much of it is so shallow. And like, I've been married for 16 years, very happily married. Absolutely love my husband. He's amazing. You met him at Dragonsteel. And so I'm like, I can't take any of this seriously. Right, you know, right. I'm like, I can't, like,
when you've been in a relationship for a long time, you start seeing this stuff and you're like, dude, like, what is this?
Yeah. What is this garbage? Yeah.
Come on.
And it's not even like, I don't have a problem with like young love tropes or anything when it's that really innocent, like, you know, discovery phase of relationship. I love that too. Yeah. It's just when it's like really shallow, toxic relationships are glorified as romantic, I get really torqued because I'm like, why would anybody want that? Honestly, stop it.
It's not for me.
Get some help. Yeah. Yeah, Andrew's a big Sun Eater fan too. Yeah. Valka as a POV would be awesome. She was my favorite character in wait a second, hold on. Book 2? Yeah.
I might have a hot take here, but
okay, let's go.
I love Valka as a character. I did not love her personally.
Sure. Okay.
I think a lot of the problems Hadrian has are because of her. And yeah, so every time everyone's like, oh, I'm such a Valka fan, I'm like,
interesting.
Yeah, that might be my one Sun Eater hot take.
Hey,
again, I love her as a character. I like she's perfect for where she is in the story. Yeah. But would not want to hang out with her.
That's fair. I feel like a character can be compelling and you still aren't like, I like this person, you know?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, what's his name from the first book? Not Switch. Oh my gosh, what's his name? The dearest friend in Lictor, which
Polino?
No, he has an S name. He meets Hadrian in book 1. Oh my gosh. Has a really like traumatic history. He's a gladiator. Not Switch. What is his name? Zin, help me out. He was my favorite character in the first book, and
I know you're talking about. What?
Yeah, I don't know why I can't think of his name right now.
Is it an S?
It is an S. Yeah.
God, that's so bad. I was just talking up Sun Eater, and I don't even remember his name.
Yeah, fake fan. I'm seeing it now.
Yeah.
That brother. Who's brother? You'll have to message me, Andrew. I have no idea what you're talking about. My Sun Eater hot take is that I liked Empire of Silence more than Howling Dark.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah,
I can see that.
I was pretty hooked on the series when I finished Empire. I was like, okay, like I didn't love everything, but I'm excited to see where he goes with this. So yeah, if I had to pick one of the two. Zin, I'll die on that hill any day. I did not love Midnight Tides. Sorry. Book 5 in Malazan. Let's see. I gotta go down quick to see if somebody said his name. Nope. Hey, John. Was just about to say, especially when you've been married a minute, the relationship drama comes across as 100%. Yep. Ben and Buddy read a contemporary romance last fall. And we still need to sit down and do it because we just haven't had time. We've been too busy, but we want to sit down and do a like happily married versus Emily Henry discussion. Like, right. Yeah. Because we had some conversations. We had some very, very lengthy conversations about why it didn't work and why we were so frustrated with the characters and all of that stuff.
Yeah, my wife is a romance/romantic reader.
Sure.
So our tastes could not be further from each other when it comes to books. It's actually really funny.
Has she convinced you to read any of her favorites?
No, she knows better than that.
She's given up already.
Yeah, and the same reason she won't ever read Warhammer. So it's like
that's it. Yeah.
We have our own things.
At least you're adjacent enough that you can still have bookish conversations. So
we read what's it called? Robert Jackson Bennett. I'm drawing the blank.
Tainted Cup.
Tainted Cup, yeah.
Yeah.
We read Tainted Cup together. We're kind of buddy reading that series together.
Fun.
So yeah, we both really like that one.
Oh, good. See, there are some crossovers. There you go.
Yeah.
Zin, it's the guy that he becomes friends with in the first book, has an S name. And he's like, he had a really traumatic past as a younger man. And it's not Switch, but it's something like that. And I can't for the life of me remember. No, not Tor Gibson. He's a younger guy. And I can't say more for spoilers. But yeah. So, okay. What are, as we're winding down, what are some of the books that, like, for the rest of the year you are really highly anticipating? Like, what's on your must-read TBR? Is it Switch then? That was stuck in my head, so it might be.
That's what I think you're saying.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Switch. Yeah. The redheaded kid.
That
had
one.
A really upsetting past. Yeah.
Yeah. He was my favorite character in book 1.
Okay.
So.
Empire of the Wolf. I need to get it done.
Yeah.
By Richard Swan.
Have you read any of it yet?
No.
Okay.
And everyone tells me, like, this is your type of series. Like, you will love this. It's, like, as a Grimdark fan and a Warhammer fan.
I read that. Oh, my internet cord popped out of my computer for a second. Okay, there we're good. Yeah, okay, that was the right name. I knew it was stuck in my head for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first book I read a couple months ago, really, really loved the first book. I'll be interested to see what you think of the series as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I liked a lot of aspects of book 1, quite a lot. So, and I'm interested to see, because I think the Grave Empire, I can't remember what the series is called, but his Grave Empire book is like the same world, just like a different time period or something.
I think so, yeah.
So
I've also heard he goes like really deep into the horror aspects with that one too.
And I think it's a lot of like cosmic / sea horror kind of stuff.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, John has a question for you. What is your favorite Space Marine Legion?
Oh, John, I thought you would never ask.
I don't know what to ask, so I'm so glad that we have Warhammer fans in the chat.
The Dark Angels. I'm a Dark Angels player. Yep. For the Lion.
Cool. Is that a pretty popular one? I have no idea.
Yeah, it's pretty popular.
Yeah. Do you feel like when in your typical bookish opinions, do you feel like you land pretty on point with like the majority of readers, or do you feel like you often have like controversial takes on the books that you read?
I land, I think, pretty close to where people are. I think I'm pretty easy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to books, I'm a pretty cheap date. If you entertain me, like I'll give you a 4 or 5 star.
Yeah, good dinner, good conversation. We're good.
Yeah, I feel like I like most of the stuff I read. Like there's been very few books where I'm like, oh, this kind of sucks. Like
yeah.
So everyone's done good with like recommendations and stuff.
Awesome.
I think the hottest take I have when it comes to like the book space is that I don't even want to say I'm not a fan. I'm not hyped on the Cosmere like everyone else is.
Yeah.
And that's funny because we met at Dragonsteel.
Yeah. Dragonsteel was great.
Yeah.
But it was funny because we had the opportunity where Sanderson was walking through the convention hall before everybody was there on Wednesday. And we stood and waited for like an hour and realized that we had like missed him because we were stuck in the exhibitor line for way too long. They had like one person doing exhibitor badges, and got back. He had moved on. He was in a different area. And I was like, I'm tired. I want to go home. So we just went up to the hotel. And afterwards, people were like, oh my gosh, you didn't wait for Sanderson? I was like, guys, he's just a human. Like he's, you know, and would I love to meet him someday? Sure. Like if I have the opportunity, I'll meet him, but I'm not like, I don't get starstruck too easily. Like,
no, I don't either.
Yeah. Like I had the opportunity to meet Pierce Brown too while we were there, and it just didn't work out. And I was like, you know what? I'll live. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Me and my buddy met him in the elevator.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
He
seems like a pretty chill, cool dude.
Every author there was completely chill.
Yeah.
And very nice. It was really nice to see, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody, I think it really helps that everybody's really passionate about good stories and what they do. And like, it's just everybody's there to have a good time. And it's such a relaxing atmosphere when you're around people that are just as nerdy as you about things.
Yeah.
Like that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it was so nice to be at a convention where I could pitch my books and I didn't have to explain what fantasy was, and I didn't have to defend writing it to anybody. Everybody was just like, yes, fantasy, let's go. I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere.
I
did not get a ticket this year, so
I didn't either.
We're on the wait list. Maybe I might be able to do some, like, get a media pass.
Sure, there you go. Yeah. I know quite a few people that did, so that's totally possible.
Yeah.
I'm excited because for the next 4 years, while they're doing renovations on the Salt Palace, they're actually moving Dragonsteel to Colorado for 4 years.
Denver, yeah.
And I'm so excited because that's way easier of a drive for us. And also, Andrew Meredith lives pretty close-ish down there, so I'll be able to like stay with friends, and it'll be great. So I'm hoping to go back in 2027.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Well, okay. So I always ask people this: what, other than the Warhammer book, which I've written down, I'm going to check it out. Is there a book based on my reading taste that you are like, Tori, you need to read this book if you haven't yet?
Oh, I should have thought about that before.
I mean, I'm just going to push Guards at you.
That's
for you. Read Guards. Yeah.
Not that I can think of at the moment. I'll have to range it with you.
Yeah, send me a DM.
I know I could find one. I just don't have any at the top of my head right now.
That's fair.
I mean, I think you would like Dogged.
Okay.
I think you would enjoy that a lot.
I mean, that was a pretty great pitch. I loved it. Yeah.
But I'll find a better one.
Okay, yeah, text me some recs, because I always love getting a chance to, like, you know, add more books to my TBR because there's not enough books on it ever. So
yeah, never.
The ocean that is our TBRs at this point, that we're all just kind of trying not to drown.
It's crazy.
It's wild. But well, thank you. I know every time we get on one of these, I say this broken record every time. Like, we could probably talk for 5 hours.
Oh yeah.
But I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out this evening, and yeah, I love getting a chance to actually like sit down and have a really good one-on-one chat about books. That's always fun.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for teaching me more about Warhammer, because I'm still a baby about it. I have no idea.
Ever have any questions, you just let me know.
I will definitely. I've got my like phone a friend Warhammer people now.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm gonna do. I know, Derry. I promise I'm gonna get to Monstrous Regiment as soon as I can. It's a Pratchett book where basically the main character is a woman who pretends to be a man and joins the militia.
Oh, okay.
So I'm excited to read that. It's gonna be a good time. But yeah, thank you guys in the chat so much for joining us. And again, I'm going to remind you, whether you're watching the replay or you're here right now, go down in the description box below and click on that link to Andrew's channel, account, because he's got an awesome Instagram account. Highly recommend. Great recommendations, beautiful shelves, and a lot of really great engaging content. So go check it out. All right, guys. I hope that you are all reading some 5-star reads, having a great week, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.